Do Sharks Bark by Selena Yoon. Do whales swim? Do whales swing? All I know is whales can sing. Do seals sprint? Do seals spark? All I know is seals go bark. Do dolphins cluck? Do dolphins kick? All I know is dolphins go click. Do gulls coo? Do gulls claw? All I know is gulls go caw, caw, caw. Do polar bears sneer? Do polar bears snore? All I know is polar bears go roar. Do sharks stamp? Do sharks stomp? All I know is sharks go chomp. Do crabs flip? Do crabs flap? All I know is crabs go snap, 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 snap. What a fun book. And you might have noticed that all the animals or creatures in this book either live in or near the ocean. I'm Miss Tara, I'm a teacher for WQLN, and today we're going to explore the world under the sea and learn about ocean animals together. Let's have some fun. I just love that photograph. It's hanging in my house, and whenever I walk by it, it makes me smile because it makes me think of the ocean. It's something I brought home from a trip. It's called a souvenir. And that's just a big fancy word for something that you get when you're on a trip or vacation and you bring home with you to remind you of that vacation. Now, I don't live near the ocean, but whenever I get a chance to go on a trip or vacation, I usually choose the ocean because it just makes me happy and I can usually learn something new. And I love to learn something new, especially with you. I'd like to share some other souvenirs that I've collected over the years from the ocean with you. So the first one I have for you is a carving. This one was made by an artist who carved some ocean creatures out of wood. Let's see if you recognize any of them. Do you see this one on the top? That's a sea turtle, very good. And how about on the bottom here? This guy was in our story, the one that goes chomp. A shark, very good. That's a lemon shark. And then on the front here, you might recognize these two little guys, seahorses. There's also two little creatures here that are not as common or as usual. They almost look like eyeballs on this, don't they? They're called barnacles. So I'm going to put this one down. This was made by a person, but I also have some souvenirs here made by nature. And the first one is that unusual creature called a barnacle. These barnacles came off the side of a boat, and the creatures aren't in them anymore. Once it dried out, I was allowed to bring it home and share it with you. Isn't that gorgeous? Another really neat nature souvenir I have is this beautiful shell given to me by a special student. Now, it doesn't look like much on the outside, right? It looks like a rock, kind of. But the beauty of this is the surprise on the inside. Boop! You see the colors? Beautiful colors. So beautiful that a lot of people make jewelry out of these. Another really neat creature in the ocean is really unique because it looks like a plant, but it's actually an animal. It's coral, and I have a fake piece of coral back here to give you an idea what it looks like. You don't see any eyes or ears. It doesn't look like an animal, but it actually is. And one time when I was walking along the beach, I was lucky enough to find a piece that was broken off the top of the coral laying in the sand right here. And I was able to bring that home, and it sits on my windowsill to remind me of that beautiful walk I had on the beach. I have another really neat shell here. This shell used to house a creature called a whelk. And a whelk is a very soft creature that lived inside that's able to grow a hard shell to protect itself. So as it gets bigger, the shell gets bigger. This shell is very special to me because this souvenir was found by my own children on a vacation. They found it on the beach and they brought it to me. So it holds a special place in my heart. Now, speaking of my children, my daughter happens to love the ocean and ocean creatures as much as I do. I asked her to come on over and help us learn some new creatures today. And I see her walking up the front sidewalk. So let me let her in and we'll have fun learning more together. Oh, yay, I hear my daughter. She's here. Hi, Andrea. Oh, I'm so happy.
Hi, Mom. Hi, everyone at home.
Yay! I love when you stop by and we learn things together.
Absolutely.
Yay! What do you have there?
I brought some of my favorite magazines all about the ocean.
Oh, that's so fun. We can look through those and maybe pick out some pictures we like.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, before we start, I want to share something else with you at home. If you're wondering how you can get pictures like this, well, you have to go under the water where the fish are in order to get the pictures, right?
Yes. Yep.
And since we're not fish, we can't see or breathe under the water. But we have special things that we use to go down underneath the water. And so do scientists and photographers, so they can take pictures and share them with us. So when we go on vacation to the ocean, one of our favorite things to do is to go snorkeling. And in snorkeling, you wear special things so you can breathe and see. And we're going to share them with you, okay? So the first thing we have is to help us see underwater. It's hard to open your eyes when the water's there, but if you put on a mask, just like this, it protects your eyes.
And your nose.
And your nose, so the water doesn't get up your nose. Isn't that cool?
And this is how you can see all the creatures under the water.
That's right. You just put your head down, or you can even swim down below. It's really fun. And then to breathe, this is called a snorkel. So what you do with the snorkel is you put it in your mouth like this, and the top part sticks out outside the water. And then you can get oxygen and breathe while you're underwater so you can enjoy the fish. And you can even swim with the fish.
Yes,
They,
absolutely.
yeah, and sometimes they even touch you. It's so neat, isn't it?
It's so colorful and so beautiful. It's a whole different world in the ocean.
Sure is. Okay, so I thought it would be fun if maybe we looked through these magazines, cut out some pictures of our favorite creatures, and then played pretend snorkeling. Would you like to do that with me?
Absolutely.
All right, so she's going to look through some magazines. I'm going to go get the art supplies. So if you want to join us, grab some magazines. You need tape and glue and a marker, and that's about it. Okay?
And scissors.
And scissors. Thank you. All right, we'll meet back here. All right, so Andrea found a lot of really great pictures, didn't you?
I did.
No, so we went ahead and cut them out, and now Andrea's going to glue some on there, and we already did a couple. So I have a piece of coral here and a crab. So for the fun of it, I glued them onto another piece of paper, and I'm going to write their names on the back. So let me write this on the coral.
Coral makes the ocean so colorful.
It does. And I was explaining earlier how it's an animal even though it looks like a plant. Isn't that so cool?
Yes.
And then how about crabs too? We see a lot of those when we go down to the Delaware beach, don't we?
We do.
They scurry along the sand. They're really neat looking. So what I did is I wrote them on the back. It's kind of fun to do that, right? To know what something is called. That's how we learn new things. Okay, so Andrea and I are going to finish up here, and then we are going to hide a bunch of the creatures that we have cut out of the magazine for the fun. We're going to hide them around this room, and we're going to pretend, which is one of my favorite things to do, we're going to pretend to go snorkeling. So should we put our equipment on?
Yes.
All right.
Gear up.
Okay. Let's get our stuff on. Get our mask and our snorkel. All right, now what happens is when you go underwater, you have this in your mouth, and you're down under the world and you can't talk, right? So what we do is we communicate each other by using hand signals. This means you're okay, right? This is you're going down. This means you're going up, right?
Right.
So that's how we'll have to talk to each other. So let's swim around,
Love it.
find some creatures, and then share them with you at home, okay? Here we go.
Perfect.
That was amazing.
What a great exploration under the water.
It was beautiful. I saw so many things, did you?
So did I.
Show me some of the things you found.
The first thing I found is an otter.
Oh my gosh, how cute is
This
that?
is my brother's favorite animal.
It's
so I was so excited to find this in the ocean.
Wait till you tell him. He's going to be
Yes.
so happy. I found a stingray. Those swim along the bottom. They're really neat looking, aren't they?
So
With the
cool.
long tails.
Yes.
What else did you find?
I also found a sea turtle with which is one of my favorite animals.
Oh, you had a great time today,
great
didn't you?
day,
Yeah.
yes.
And I found something so cool that can change colors underwater. It's an octopus.
Wow.
Isn't
Those
that
are
cool?
cool.
Yeah.
Talk about being able to multitask. Octopi have 8 arms.
That-
It is so cool.
That is really, I would love to have 8 arms. Think how much I could get done in one day. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put these off to the side, and maybe later I can find out some kind of craft to use them for.
That sounds fun.
I'm so glad you came over.
Me too.
It was so fun learning with animals about you today.
I love the ocean.
Yes. All right,
Bye,
bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye, Andrea. It was sure fun playing pretend snorkeling with Miss Andrea. I hope you get a chance to play pretend snorkeling at your house. Now let's learn a little bit more about those ocean animals. I have a great story to share with you called In the Ocean. In the Ocean by Jennifer Smansky. Ocean homes. Many animals live in the ocean. Some live in tide pools. The pools are made from rocks near the shore and water covers them when the tide is high. Here's 2 animals that live there. A crab and a starfish. Here's a forest that doesn't have trees, it has kelp. Fish hide in the kelp's leaves, and otters like to dive in the forest to find food to eat. Coral looks like a rock or a plant, but remember what it actually is? An animal, that's right. Lots of coral together is called a coral reef. Coral reefs are home to many living things. And look how colorful. There's an eel. Some oceans are very cold, but animals still live there. In the North Pole, we have narwhals, and in the South Pole, we have penguins. Some critters live even deeper in the ocean floor, and it's dark and cold, but it's still home. Check out this squid that actually can light up. Other animals that don't like to live deep like to live near the top of the water. Seahorses like to stay in shallow water. Manatees are very slow swimmers because they don't have anything that hunts them. But marlins, on the other hand, are fast swimmers, one of the fastest in the ocean. Jellyfish have soft bodies. They need a way to protect themselves, so watch out, their tentacles can sting. But a sea turtle does not have a way to sting, but it has a hard shell to protect itself. Now it's your turn. Pretend you are by the sea and tell a story about what you are doing. That's another fun way to play pretend, isn't it? You could pretend you're one of those animals under the sea and tell someone a story. Well, we know so much about ocean animals now, I thought it would be fun to play a game and see how much you remember. Why don't you at home play with us? Let's go. Now, since we learned so much about sea creatures, I thought it would be fun to play a trivia game to review, and my great friends, Grant and Flynn, came over to join me. Hi, guys.
Hi. Hey.
How was school today?
Good.
Good? You learn a lot?
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, let's show off our knowledge here with this game. So this is how we play. There's a bunch of questions in here about sea creatures. So I'm gonna pull them, you're gonna pull them out, we'll read the clue, and then those creatures are hidden around the house. So you go find them, bring them back, and when we're all done, we check it, okay?
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
All right, feel free to guess at home too, now that you know so much about sea creatures. So Grant, why don't you go first? I bet you could read these all by yourself.
This creature lives in tide pools and has 5 arms. Look under the couch. I think it's a sea star.
Go find out.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, your turn.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what you have, Flynn. This creature has a hard shell.
I think it's a turtle.
What kind of turtle?
Sea turtle.
Go see. Go see. Get it?
I
Hey, nice. Very good. All right, pick another one.
Okay. This sea mammal is playful and makes click, click, click sounds. Look by the shoes. A dolphin.
Go find out. Remember that story we read? They go click, click, click. I think you might be right. Okay, go ahead and pick one, Flynn. All right, let's see. It says, this creature likes to hide in coral reefs.
I think it's an eel.
An eel. Go see if you can find it by the front door.
I find a dolphin.
Nice. All right, let's hear another.
This seabird Lives in the South Pole. Look in the freezer. A penguin.
That would be a great place for a penguin to hide.
Yeah.
Go see if he's in there, keep it nice and cold. All right, last pick. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's see where this one is. This creature has 8 tentacles.
I think it's an octopus.
How about it? You look by the fireplace and we find out.
I did find a penguin.
Nice. Well, we're gonna find out too how many you got right. So, I think you did really good. Do you? You feeling pretty confident?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's go ahead and check them. Would you like to go first, Flynn?
Yeah.
All right. Let's start with this one.
Okay.
This one was.
Sea turtle.
And remember, the sea turtle uses a hard shell
Shell.
for.
Protection.
Very good. Okay, you check one.
Sea star. Oh yeah,
There it is. Do you know why they don't call it a starfish anymore?
because they're not really fish.
You got it. Good job. All right, your turn.
Octopus.
Octopus. What do you know is special about an octopus?
They can camouflage.
They can.
And turn different colors.
Very good. And how many arms does it have, or tentacles? 8. Very good.
Dolphin.
Dolphin. And what do you know about dolphins?
They can swim really fast.
Very good. And what sound do they make? Yeah, like a clicking sound, right? Good job.
Yeah. Eel.
An eel. And where do they like to hide?
They like to hide in the coral reef where it's safe for them to hide and safe for them to eat.
Yeah.
I guess.
To go hunting, right? There's
Yeah.
lots of other fishies that like to go there too. So, okay, finish this up.
Penguin.
And where do they live?
In the South Pole.
Can you find them in the North Pole?
No.
Nope, only in the South Pole, right?
Yep.
Wow, we got them all right, and I bet you got them all right at home too. That was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's fun after you learn something to see how much you remember, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's finish off since we were learning about the ocean. Let's finish off with the wave. Want to do a wave?
Yeah.
Let's show them at home. Okay, start us off, Grant. Okay, one more time. That's so fun.
Yeah.
Go ahead. All right, I think the only way to say goodbye is
See ya later.
bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye.
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 Having scavenger hunts around your house is always so much fun. And it just so happened that I had these ocean animal toys already at my house that I was able to use. So if you have some really cool toys and you want to have a scavenger hunt at your house, it's really easy to do. Just hide them around and then think up different clues. It's fun to do it with a friend or with somebody in your family. But even if you don't have really neat toys like these ocean animals, you can still have a scavenger hunt. Remember earlier when Miss Andrea and I played Let's Pretend and we went snorkeling? Where we cut out all those different sea creatures from that magazine and we glued them on cardstock. Well, we're going to use those same cards to make a craft. But you could also use those same cards to have a scavenger hunt first. It would be really fun too. So what I did is I made a sea creature mobile out of them. And as you can see, I gathered all the different creatures and I used my hole punch to punch holes in the top of each one. Then I got some ribbon out of my cupboard, just basic gift wrap ribbon. And I cut all different lengths. It's more fun when you have different lengths. Then grab a hanger that doesn't have anything on it out of your closet and you're ready to go. So you take a creature, once you punch a hole in the top, put the ribbon through, and you tie it on. Just a regular double knot will do. And then you pick up your hanger and you tie it onto the hanger. Now I could tie it on this one and start a new one, but I already have one almost finished, so I'm going to add my sea turtle to it. I also write the name on the back, so if you know how to write your letters, you could do that too, but you don't have to. So this is the one I already started making. Look at how fun it is, right? I've got all kind of different sea creatures hanging on there. Otter, octopus, stingray, lionfish, and other creatures. And over here I have a seahorse. So I'm going to put Mr. Turtle right in the middle because he's real big. It's fun sometimes to put the biggest one in the middle and then the smaller ones on the outside. It tends to hang a little nicer. So I'm going to put Mr. Sea Turtle right in the middle here. And then we can pick somewhere high. It actually looks better if you hang it up high, and it can swirl around and you can enjoy all the different creatures that you just learned about. So there it is. And even if you can't hang it high, you can always hang it on a doorknob, right? And you can enjoy it. So I hope you have fun making your mobile at home. I thought we would finish our undersea adventure today by sharing one of my favorite stories about ocean animals. It's called Commotion in the Ocean. And you can hear the word motion in commotion, and motion needs to move. So if you have a whole bunch of things moving at once, for example, sea creatures moving around all at the same time, that's called a commotion. Commotion in the ocean. Can you hear it rhyme? This book is one of my favorites for 3 reasons. Number 1, it rhymes, and I love rhyming words. Number 2, colorful pictures. And number 3, your eyes need to be looking for something on every page hiding. And on this book, it happens to be 3 little sea star friends. You can see them on the bottom. Orange sea star, yellow sea star, and red sea star. So as I read you the poems, see if you can spot our friends. There's a curious commotion at the bottom of the ocean. I think we ought to go and take a look. You'll find every sort of creature that lives beneath the sea swimming through the pages of this book. There are dolphins, whales, and penguins. There are jellyfish and sharks. There's a turtle and the big white polar bear. But can you see behind the wrecks and in between the rocks? Let's take a look and see who's hiding there. We know, right? Our 3 sea star friends. Can you find them on this page? They're down the bottom again, aren't they? 1, 2, 3, hiding down there on us. Let's see what creature we're going to talk about first. Oh, I'll give you a clue. So this dolphin makes the click, click, click sound and is very playful. And I think Grant was really good at imitating this creature. Do you remember what it was? A dolphin. Very good. The wonderful thing about dolphins is hearing them trying to speak. It's not how do you do, as I'd say to you. It's more of a click, whistle, squeak. And can you see any of our friends? One of them's riding on a dolphin. And then over here, our orange friend is swimming. And then way out here on the island, can you see that little spot? One of them's laying in the sand. Okay, the next creature goes chomp and has really big teeth and a really big appetite. Do you remember what that creature is? Mr. Shark, very good. I swim with a grin up to greet you. See how my jaws open wide? Why don't you come a bit closer? Please take a good look inside. No, thank you, Mr. Shark. Not even our little friends are trying to hide. They're trying to swim away for safety and screaming, yikes. This next creature is the biggest creature in the sea, actually the biggest creature on the planet. Do you know what it's called? The blue whale, very good. There's no other beast on the planet as big as the giant blue whale. He measures a massive 100 feet long from his head to the tip of his tail. And there's 2 of our, see how tiny our little sea star friends look next to the whale? And there's one riding on the front of the whale's head. These next creatures like to live where it's cold. Do you remember what animals live where it's cold? How about a penguin and a polar bear? We waddle around on our icebergs, which makes our feet slither and slide. And when we get close to the water, we leap with a splash off the side. There's our penguin friends. And look who's sliding in the sea with them. Orange sea star and yellow sea star. And here's our polar bear friends. Deep out in the Arctic, the mommy polar bear snuggles up with all her children since it's very cold out there. Now look really close behind the polar bears out on this white glacier. Really tiny black spot is our last sea star hiding on us. What a lot of creatures we have seen beneath the sea. What a lot of funny things they do. Some of them might lick their lips and eat you in one bite, and some might want to swim around with you. The dolphin's very friendly and the lobster's very fierce, but the shark is the most dangerous by far. Can you name the other friends we've made along the way? See if you can tell me who they are. Let's see if you can name any of the creatures left on this last page. So I think you know this guy up here, Mr. Jellyfish. And then we have our dolphin friend. That's a swordfish. And there's a shark and a blue whale and an octopus and a lobster. And I bet you already found our 3 sea star friends there, waving bye-bye. It was so fun going on an undersea adventure with you today. And I hope that very soon that we need to get to go on another learning adventure together. But in the meantime, I hope you keep reading, keep learning, and keep watching WQLN, where learning is brought to life. I will see you the next time. Bye-bye.